Okay guys, so today I received a box from Hisky. It's the HCP100S and looking really forward to it. I'll show you what's inside of the box. It's first of all, the box itself is like really good quality. Didn't expect it to be as sturdy as it is because it's only cardboard and there's no plastic or foam inside of it, so I was really surprised about the quality of the box. It feels solid. When you open it up, you can see they've done everything to keep the box as small as possible. The Haley's worked in there quite snug, and if you take it out, you can see that they've done everything they can to protect it as good as they can. The structure of the box already provides a lot of strength, the way they folded it and how the Haley is put in there. It's very good by my standards. Besides the Haley and the spare parts, there's also a small CD with the owner manual on there and the instruction manual. You can find some problem solving details and some setting up instructions, and especially with the HT8 the instructions are very good. The Haley itself, as you can see, it's fitted quite nicely into its packaging. It's protected from the outside pretty good. And you can just pull it off like this. It's really a beauty to look at. I love the canopy. It's got beautiful detail on the canopy. And so far I'm really impressed. Besides the Haley, you get some spare parts. And you can see there's a small bag in there with a set of a couple of blades, extra spare blades. Some mounting foam. I presume that's for mounting the satellite on the frame. A small screwdriver, which most of us already own, about 1,000, and a nice torque wrench. There's also a spare tail blade. It will probably come in handy eventually when you crash it a couple of times. You'll need to replace it, and it's always good to have those. Besides the blades, the foam and the small hardware for mounting, there's also some small screws and links. There's some grommets, some links, servo links. Really like the fact that they put in an extra feathering shaft. Kudos for Hisky for doing that, because they tend to get bent in hard crashes pretty easy. And someone was already telling that the screw that holds the main gear on the main shaft was really loose. You could lose it easily. Well, at least they've put in a spare one as well. So that's really nice. If you lose it, you'll still have a spare in the bag. So far for the spare parts. Let's have a look at the Haley. And I forgot to mention, there's also the 450 milliamps 2S LiPo. The Haley itself, as I already said, I think it's really beautiful looking. You can see Hisky has put a lot of detail into it, a lot of effort to make it as good as they can, and everything just looks really thought out. If you look at the main frame, it's really strong. It doesn't flex at all. Looks really nice. You can see the screws where they're proud of that they fitted the screws through the tail boom, at least through one side of the tail boom to hold it in place so it doesn't come out. You can see that the head looks a lot similar as the V922. The links the head, it should be able to swap. It should be compatible to the V922. On the front there's the flight control board with the satellite connector, servo connectors. Underneath there is the electronic speed controller. And you can see the wires going to the brushless main. And on the other side, the wires going back into the tail boom behind the servo. It's got a JST connector, as most of you already know. It's a normal connector for small LiPos, so you can get a lot of spare LiPos with these types of connectors. A couple of things I noticed. The screws, well, they hold the tail boom in place, but as they go through the tail boom you get a weak spot. I hope I don't split any tail booms just by screwing them in. I was really impressed, by the way, about the rear tail motor guard, and as you can see, the tail motor is just sitting in there. Let's see, it wants to focus. That's better. So the tail motor is has got a little bit of space in the mount, so you don't hit the tail motor in a crash, and it's protected fairly well. It looks really good. It's a nice way to protect it, a good solution. I haven't seen this before. Another thing I noticed was that the tail motor wires are really thin, and I don't know if I'll be running them through the tail boom for a long time. I think I'll switch to running them outside the tail boom, maybe even solder a couple of thicker wires on there and running them outside to protect them even better. On the other side, you can see that the main motor wires are a bit thicker. They're tucked away behind the canopy post, and if you fit the canopy, it will fit snug. It all looks very well, good quality build. Looking forward to flying it. I've been setting it up today with the HD8 adapter. It didn't work for me with the Lemon RX adapter. It's a known problem, they're working on it, so I hope they'll have a solution in the future, because I love to use it with a satellite on my DX6i. One thing I did notice, and it was already mentioned by another forum member, that the canopy is really thin, so I'll probably be plasti dipping this on the inside to protect it a bit more. So far the unboxing. I hope you guys can look forward to receiving your own HCP100S, and I'll come back to you with a flight video.